Hey, it's Jacob from Sustainably Yours, and today I'm out in the pasture. I'm going to attempt to put together a raised garden bed made out of some old pallets that I picked up for free. The last couple of years, I really haven't been happy with our garden. There's just not enough space to grow stuff. So I've been trying to find a way to expand our garden. Problem is, there's not really a spot out here that I could just put a garden down in the ground. It's really rocky, it's really hilly. There's not a place where I could just till it up and start planting. So we're gonna have to go with raised beds, and it's gonna take quite a few of them to get what I'm looking for. And instead of going out and spending all of the money and buying all of the lumber and trying to get everything knocked out at once, I'm just kind of taking my time. I'm finding resources as I can. So after lots of thinking and planning and trying to figure out what kind of raised bed I wanted to try, I've settled on using pallets. Now at first I was just going to take the entire pallet and set it up. It'd be like almost a 4-foot tall raised bed. I decided that would be too tall. So instead what I've done is I've taken my pallets and cut them in half. So I end up with something that looks kind of like this. And the reason I've decided to do it this way is that will provide me with a nice, a good height for my beds. This part will be buried underground for stability. So this will be where the ground begins. So that'll give me, I don't know, 2 feet or so. Maybe a little over 2 feet raised above the ground. And then I'll be able to fill these pallets with dirt and utilize these spaces for growing things. And another thing that I find cool, it wasn't something planned, but after I had them cut in half, I started to realize that these things look awfully Minecrafty. I don't know if you've ever played Minecraft, but that's what the fences look like. So when everything is all said and done, I'm going to have myself a little Minecraft garden. Or maybe, hopefully, a big old Minecraft garden. And I think I've found myself a nice little spot out here in the pasture. It's fairly close to the house. There aren't any trees to block out the sun, and there's plenty of room for us to develop. So this is going to be perfect. So what I plan on doing is taking about 4 of these. These are going to make 2 of the sides. So we'll go 4 down on one side, 4 on the other, and then we'll cap both ends with 2 pallet pieces. So it'll give us about a 4-foot wide by, I think it was 16-foot long garden bed. But instead of trying to explain it to you in words, why don't I just set this thing up and see if I can show you. Okay, so I just kind of have these things set up. They're not stable at all yet, but when all said and done, this is kind of what it's going to look like. We'll lose, I don't know, 2 or 3 inches in height once I bury all of these things. And I misremembered a second ago. It's not going to be 4 pallets long, it's going to be 5 pallets long. But I think that's going to work out really well. I just have to get them buried, huh? Finally, at long last, it is finished. It took me a little while to get it finished. As far as work hours goes, it was a very short project, but during the school year, I'm always having to work around work, so things take a lot longer. This raised bed ends up being about 6.5 feet wide by about 16.5 feet long. So that gives me a little over 100 square feet of growing space. This thing was almost completely free. It's made out of free pallets that I picked up. Most of the nails in it are rescued nails from some of the pallets, and the only cost to me was I ran out of rescued nails and I had to buy a box of nails at the hardware store. And that was just to finish this last little leg here. So I don't know, I imagine I used maybe 15 or 20 nails, so that puts our cost at maybe a couple dollars. So I'm really excited about it. I've been trying to figure out a way to expand our growing space for a couple of years now since we moved into this house. And I think this is gonna be my ticket. This is just the start. It's one of many. My plan is to fill up this entire area with these raised garden beds. I'm thinking I'll end up putting about 10 feet in between the beds, and then for some of them I'll grow like a little canopy of beans, or I don't know, something like that. But look at this thing, it's like a little Minecraft garden. This project turned out a lot better than I expected it to. Usually when I get started on a project, things go sideways and south in every direction other than the direction I wanted it to go. But this thing went together really easily. The only spot that I'm not super happy about is down this line here, right about there. Well, don't focus on my finger. Right about here. You'll see I kind of got things a little crooked in a spot, but I'll live with it, and I'll try to do better next time. So I guess all that's left to do is to fill this thing, and to do that I think I'm going to treat it like a big hugel mound. I'm going to try and fill it with tree stumps and branches and things like that, whatever I can get my hands on as much as possible. And then we'll top that off with some compost. I can get my hands on some good free compost and maybe some dry leaves or something like that to mulch it with. So I think that'll work out. Oh yeah. One of the reasons why I settled on this design with these pallets. When I mentioned that 100 or so feet of growing space, I was only counting the top surface. But by using these pallets, I've got these gaps here between the slats. If I fill the insides of the pallets up with soil, it gives me spaces to grow along here. This thing is about 1.5 feet tall. I think the slats in between the growing spaces are perfectly spaced out. So if we add that in, we get another 70 or so square feet. So if all my maths are correct, I think we'll end up with something like 175, 180 square feet of growing space. And this cute little free Minecraft raised bed garden. Now this video didn't go into a lot of detail on how I put the thing together. Quite honestly, I didn't really know what I was doing going into it, and I wasn't sure if it was going to work, so I didn't bother. But I do have another stack of pallets over there ready to go for raised bed number 2. So I'll try to put together a good step-by-step how-to video just in case you would like to build your own little Minecraft raised bed garden. Hopefully you've enjoyed this one. If so, please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. And if you'd like to be notified when I release the video showing you how to make your own super cute Minecraft style raised bed garden, then make sure you ring that notification bell so you'll know when to be back for more daily sustainable living.